I had never gone to college and felt called into ministry, so after Jill graduated, we packed up our 2-year-old daughter and 6-week-old son and moved from our hometown of Indianapolis, Indiana, to Lincoln, Illinois, so I could attend Lincoln Christian College, now known as Lincoln Christian University. Jill. We lived in Lincoln for 18 months and eventually moved to Bloomington, Illinois, so Mark could intern at a large church we fell in love with. He finished his bachelor degree commuting from Bloomington to Lincoln. Eventually, we added 3 more little savages to the family, 2 by birth and 1 by adoption. Mark. I served as a children's pastor for 10 years and eventually planted a church and served as a senior pastor for 10 years. Jill started a ministry to moms called Hearts at Home. The ministry grew quickly, and eventually she began to speak and write. We often spoke together on marriage. Our plate was full with 5 kids and 2 large ministries. Jill. Through our 20 years of church ministry, we experienced for better or for worse. On several occasions, we sought out marriage counseling to get to the other side of conflict we couldn't resolve on our own. Mark and I came from very different families. Our differences seemed to be nearly invisible when we were dating, but magnified as soon as we said, "I do." What differences we did see before marriage, we privately thought we could change over time. Mark. 6 years ago, I lost my way. I remember the day I turned a corner in the wrong direction. After a long season of confusion, a hard season of ministry, a change in employment, and my 50th birthday, Jill and I were in Florida on a getaway for just the 2 of us. I was emotionally depleted, disillusioned with God, and discouraged in every part of my life, including my marriage. We had enjoyed a few low-key days in her parents' condo. On our last day there, all of my emotions collided. God wasn't changing anything in my life that I was praying about. I wasn't where I expected to be in my life by the time I was 50. We continued to have the same challenges in our marriage year after year, and I decided I was done with it all. I know now that I was living out a full-blown midlife crisis. I came home from that trip resolved to be done with my marriage. Shortly thereafter, a relationship began through Facebook with someone I'd known long ago. Within a matter of months, it had moved from an emotional affair to a physical one. I eventually left Jill to pursue this new relationship. I didn't care what anybody thought. I was doing what I wanted to do. My thinking was skewed, no doubt. However, during our healing time, Jill and I discovered something we call the slow fade journey. We will be sharing those fades with you because if I can prevent any husband or wife from dealing with their life frustrations the way I did, my vulnerability will be worth it all. When I left, I was headed out of my marriage into another relationship. I had a storm raging in my soul that involved Jill, me, the church in general, and my God. I felt completely hopeless that anything in my life could be different, so I decided to take things into my own hands. Jill. In 2007, Casting Crowns released the song "It's a Slow Fade." The lyrics in the chorus are descriptive of the slow drift that any marriage or any spouse can experience. It's a slow fade when you give yourself away. It's a slow fade when black and white have turned to gray. Thoughts invade, choices are made, a price will be paid when you give yourself away. People never crumble in a day. It's a slow fade. Mark. We were working on our marriage. We knew each other's love languages and spoke them often. We had date nights. We did getaways on a regular basis. We were intentional about communication. In the midst of that much intentionality, infidelity became a part of our story. How in the world did that happen? The slow fades. Looking back, it wasn't the big things that made a difference. It was the little things, things that simmered under the surface, things unnoticed, unattended, untouched. These unknowns began an unraveling that gained momentum over time. No marriage crumbles in a day. It's a drift of 1 centimeter to another, one feeling or one decision that leads to another feeling or decision that's a little off-center. If left unaddressed, those feelings will draw us away from each other instead of